Hello there. Welcome back to Nova Hypnosis and Wellness. I am Ramsey Ayachi. I'm the lead provider and one of the trainers for the practice. And Peak Performance Associates is another part of our offerings to clients and companies. Thanks for joining us today. What I want to talk about today is something very near and dear to humanity. It affects all of us. And what we typically end up finding or seeing clients for is they're in a state of suffering. And how does that suffering exist? How does it come about? How does it come to fruition? The suffering, as we concisely define it for clients, is they either feel like they're not good enough. They feel like on some level they're not cutting the mustard, whether someone's told them that, someone's programmed them to think that way, either some kind of authoritative figure in their life or peer pressure. Or the other option is that people operate from a place of scarcity. Now, what's interesting is that the suffering can be a hybrid of both of those. Sometimes a person feels like they're not enough, and it compels them to go and achieve more and more and more. And this is how you find people that are classic overachievers, yet they never, ever appreciate the very thing that they spend all the time investing in order to achieve. And that's where you also see it when people chase money. So if they say, I'll be happy when I have $1 million, they get to $1 million and they're not happy. And they start thinking, well, if I had $2 million, then I'll feel happy. And they get to $2 million and they still don't feel happy. So you can see how it transcends demographics. It's not about how intellectual and how smart the person is. Everybody is plagued by these facets of suffering at some point in time in their life. The other one, I'm not good enough. We hear that kind of programming very frequently from authority figures, whether it's our parents, our brothers, our sisters that are older than us, teachers, counselors, uncles, aunts, all that information when we're young children, and the pressure or the judgment that we feel from that authority figure, we begin to shift our nervous system so that we begin to believe that we're actually not good enough. And we begin to believe that there is not enough. Now, not enough also transcends boundaries. Doesn't matter what socioeconomic background you're from, how many degrees you have, how much money you have. That scarcity mindset, some of the most scarce mindset people I know are people that have gobs and gobs of money. So it's very important. And scarcity can also include emotional resources like love. Like, I will never have enough love. I can't get enough love. And you typically see this in damaging relationships where a person will go and seek significance over love, and they seek significance by throwing a tantrum, by overspending so that their partner then gets upset with them and gives them the attention, albeit the attention is negative in this case. They receive that significance because they don't feel complete by themselves. Now, these states of suffering that I'm referring to, what they really are, if you want to have a different, more resourceful way to look at it, I guess is the best way to say it, is they are the pain. They are the drought. They are the toughness. They are the stealing of the metal. And if you could just use a very simple metaphor, if you think of the grapes, the beautiful grapes that are in the wine country region of the United States and in Northern California, or maybe even in the amazing vineyards of France, the Bordeaux region, for example. These grapes grow and they're exposed to the heat during the day, to the cool air at night. And it's this contraction, this expansion, it's this pressure, the intense sun, the cool temperature, sometimes a frost. It's all of these things that are very similar to someone judging us or experiencing hardship or experiencing a challenge or being faced with a health obstacle or being faced with something traumatic in our lives. It's all these things that to us as the grape put pressure on us. It's the environmental elements. But just know at the end of this journey for the grape, it creates this beautiful bouquet of aromas, of smells, of flavor that are the texture of life. And although we look at these challenges and these obstacles as something to avoid because we don't want to be judged and we don't want to fail at things, it actually is and are the components that make us better. So the next time you feel like something is causing you stress, I'd like for you to look at it through the lens of, what is it that I'm really feeling? Do I feel like I'm not good enough to accomplish this? Do I feel like I won't be able to do a good enough job? Or do I feel like I don't have enough, and therefore I'm in this mindset of having to take more and to be greedy for whatever the resource is, whether it's love, whether it's affection, whether it's money, whether it's house, whether it's car, whether it's clothing, whether it's jewelry, whatever the case is. Scarcity, again, transcends all boundaries. Or is it the external environment? Is it a higher purpose? Is it the universe? Is it God? Whatever you believe in, that's delivering to you this thing that is actually going to make you better. This thing that is actually going to help you improve. This thing that will demand from you that you step up and become a different version of yourself. Will you allow that intense heat from the sun to buckle you? Will you allow that cool frost that snaps to freeze your performance or to freeze your progress? That's the question I want to invite each and every person to contemplate, to think about on their own. Because to do so is to take away from the very thing that helps you to improve and get better with time, like a fine wine. And I'm a poet and I don't even know it. Thanks for joining us. Hope you got some value out of this. Please click the like and subscribe button below. Take care of yourself, and I wish you a wonderful, amazing, passionate life. Take care. Bye-bye.